Hey, what is up, everyone? This is Tyler G of Batman Figs on Instagram, and today's the new Batman Adventure review is going to be on the episode titled Torch Song, and the main villain being Firefly. This is his first appearance in Batman the Animated Series as a whole. There are interviews online where Bruce Timm said that he actually wanted to use Firefly in the original Batman the Animated Series, but the network they were on and the censors wouldn't allow for them to use fire on a Saturday morning cartoon show, which I find funny because there's fire in the opening of the actual show, so I guess they couldn't have villains using fire. But once they switched networks and they were doing the 4th season, they were allowed to use fire, and so we finally get Firefly in his own episode. And the episode starts off with Bruce Wayne on a date with a young, beautiful woman. And she's taking him to a Cassidy concert. And Cassidy is like the #1 pop singer in Gotham in the world, I guess. And Batman runs into Barbara and she even says, "Oh, I didn't know you were into Cassidy." And he just smiles and she sees he's on a date. Then we get to see Cassidy herself, the singer, and she's just standing about to go on stage, and Garfield Linz, her pyrotech and stage effects person, comes up, and he sounds bitter, and it sounds like they dated for a little bit and she rejected him, and so he goes on about that and how he's bitter, and she basically gets angry and she says, "You know what, this is your last night. I thought we could have a working relationship, but seems like we can't, so you're done. This is your last show." And naturally, that pisses him off. So the show starts and the fire effects start going, and we see Linz, and you can see from his face, he's just struggling to keep it together, and then he just lets it go and sets the whole stage on fire. Luckily, Batgirl, since she was there, she swings in. Bruce Wayne couldn't get into his costume because he was in the front, and he would obviously be seen, so luckily Batgirl was there. And then from then on, we get Batman and Batgirl. They're on patrol and they say, "Oh, it's been a slow night," but then they hear something and we see it's Firefly, and he is attacking a Cassidy event at a place that's like a Hard Rock Cafe style thing. So he goes there and Linz actually kidnaps her, and Barbara is hurt in the fire and the whole thing, the ordeal. And so with the next scene after that, we see Batgirl in the Batcave, and she's roughed up. Alfred's tending to her, and Bruce is like, "You know what, I need to go get this guy, so I'm going to go after him alone." Batgirl's too hurt. And before he goes, Alfred says, "Sir, do you want to take something a little bit more durable?" And he does a nod over to a costume. And we get to see that it is an anti-fire bat suit, and they actually made a toy of this too, and it's really cool. It looks like a Batman Beyond suit or a prototype. It's all black and it's heavily armored, and the bat signal across the front is blue instead of red, but it also covers the mouth, so it does have that Batman Beyond type feel. So it is very cool looking, and he only uses it and wears it in this one episode for a few seconds, but it's cool to see. Then we get taken to Garfield, aka Firefly's hideout, and he's explaining his master plan to Cassidy on how he's going to destroy Gotham and just take her somewhere where they could be together. And he created this gel that it burns through anything, even burns straight through solid frozen ice with no problem. And so he's going to dump it into the sewers and then light it so that it burns from the bottom and the foundations, just crumbling the city. But, of course, Batman shows up, saves the day, and overall it's a very cool episode and an introduction to a character that we haven't seen yet, which is nice, especially because, you get a lot of repeat villains, which isn't a bad thing because they tend to be fan favorites, but it's also nice to see an established Batman rogues from the comics, and he finally make his television animated debut And he's also in one more episode, and it is a very cool episode titled Legends of the Dark Knight, which we'll be getting to in a matter of days. And that is also one of my favorite new Batman Adventures episodes. So I also have an action figure review today on the SH Fig Arts Dark Knight Christian Bale Batman, and it's a beauty. So stay tuned for that. Hope to hear from you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.